We are live. All right. The first thing I do is get up. There's nobody in the chat, and I don't know why I care. I'm gonna go till 7:00. This will open up. Okay, I can watch the chat. Yippee. Okay. Let's get to what we were supposed to be doing. We are at still got 10 minutes. Do. Everything's running slow today. I actually have done some videos, and I actually wish I could just publish them all and just get them all out there, because I'm kind of excited by not really a new direction, but a little change on the agenda. There's something pretty exciting about actually having a hand in the lyrics, and I can make them even songs that are not very funny or not supposed to be funny, and do that. So it's kind of an amazing thing. I gotta learn patience. Everything has to happen. I have to keep a series, at least one of the series going, and have to have a kind of a stockpile, because real life might intrude, and it will break up my consistency, and I don't want that to happen. But let's find out where we're at. If it ever loads. Previously on Novel Ideas. I'm almost positive I was at the I made it to the 18th. I think I even said that several times. Of December 2014. I got 8 minutes to figure that out. Well, I never plugged it in. Huh. I gotta fix that. This is the 6th. We're in 6 episodes of this. This is pretty good. Very happy with that too. Let's see. I don't know how far we're going to go. Everything's loading slowly. I probably should have gotten to the point and then gone live. So yay, you get this. Yay. Nobody's chatting, so I'm by myself, so it doesn't matter. And if you did stumble across this live feed, stop in, say hi. I don't have to talk about the old Facebook post. In the very first episode, what I was doing is that I was preserving, and what I'm in right now is one of the things that I definitely wanted to preserve, and I'm actually happy that it's here. I didn't remember that I did it in 2014. There's some things that are just, they're better left, silly memes and things like that. Stuff that's not my own. There's no reason to preserve somebody else's work. They can preserve it themselves. I had to load all of 2015 because by 2015 I was I want to load all of 2015 because I'm going to probably burn through. Hopefully, I'll get through the rest of Christmas, and literally after the 25th, this goes fairly quickly. So I have to be a little more. And everybody knows that if I say lap, that just stands for long ass post. That's pretty much even all I'm saving. I'm not even saving the little quips and things like that. I'm not even preserving the comments that I made on other people's pages. I'm just my own. And if we burn through this really quickly, because it definitely seems like I go fairly quickly through this. I definitely wanted to get now almost a month ago, last month I wanted to be in 2015. I thought I was literally going to be doing a year every episode, which would have been kind of nice to just have it as 2011 to 2013, and then 2013, 2014, 2000, like that. It's definitely going to be interesting. Yeah, here's the last of the Seanisms. And the interesting thing about the Seanisms that I was doing is, like I said, I was doing lap posts. It shouldn't be lap posts. I was just doing laps every single day. So I ended the last one at December 17th, 2014, and that was the Master Debater. I believe I got through all of that. How come it feels like I didn't read any of these? Real quick. It's going to be kind of weird. You're going to have my voice coming through. I'm going to try to skip to the end, and we'll do previously on right there, then and there. So we don't skip to her.
And didn't gain super speed or strength, even though the information was coming in at an alarming rate. My understanding of the world still remained constant. Though I have never been to space, I attribute the feeling as if the laws and magnetic gravitational pulls of the Earth no longer existed.
I really do hate
and
my
once
voice.
that feeling leaves, the forces of the Earth are very present, and in the best way describes the whole world wants to squeeze or pull me apart at the same time. Or same moment. So far, my body has been roads in front. If you're doing Shaw math, consider it a small number. Hit their brakes and pull to the side of the road. Not knowing what to do with the ice cream truck didn't make me. And if they either didn't make that spelling mistake, correct it. I start small.
Turn myself down a little bit.
I get the things taking someone's money or wallet. I don't even know what the freaking I was talking about here. Actually left behind because of carelessness. Instead of telling them that they dropped it and looking at me, small or as insignificant as a single point might seem, it becomes larger and bigger than things that we thought we could imagine. No comments, right? No comments. December 14th. It's already 7. Wow, the hour freaking just flew by.
I didn't.
Are Martians.
I only got to December 14th.
That's where I'm going to leave it off today. We are only at December 14th. I actually posted a picture of me in a Santa Claus outfit because I thought I was going to make it to Christmas. I am not going very quickly through this.
Okay. December 14th, and I didn't even read it like I normally do. I normally do a recap of the second thing. Holy cow. Oh. All right. Well, we're 1 minute in, and I know where I am. December 14th. I thought I made it a little bit further. I didn't even make it 10. I didn't even make it 10. I think I'm bogging myself down here. Hold on. Yeah. I will fix that in post. Holy cow. I thought I made it to the 18th. I was like, yeah, maybe we'll make it to Christmas this time. Now I'm not so sure. And I lost my place. Yay. 2 minutes in. 2 minutes in, and I found out where I need to be, and yeah, this isn't good at all. I'm actually not even going to attempt to think that I'm going to make it to 2015. So we're going to just skip right to the end and get there quickly. Oh, this is unbelievable. Okay, I did the welcome to the fourth dimension. That was where December 13th. We're now going to get into December 14th. Holy cow. Yeah, and this definitely is a lap. So I'm going to definitely be doing laps today. All right, let's start. Let's just get right into it because we're already 4 minutes in. So December 14th, 2014, Neanderthals are Martians. When I was 11, I was consumed with space travel. My plan was to win the gold medal in gymnastics, be a Top Gun naval pilot, get accepted to NASA, become a space shuttle pilot, and eventually pilot the first interplanetary ship to Mars. Becoming the first human to step foot on Mars and one of the first Martian citizens. Very cool stuff, very big dreams. Then again, I was all going to do this before the 21st century. I actually wanted to do this in my early 20s. I really thought that, when I was 10, I thought 10 years, basically double my lifetime at the time was forever. And that was long enough for the people of the earth to get space travel down, and we were going to be having long trips to Mars. And it's unbelievable. Also, the one side interest of mine was archaeology. My first crossover interest, and the very first epistemological quandary, was the theory that Neanderthals were actually space travelers from Mars who became our gods of myth, legends, and all religions. So once I travel to another world, Mars, I would switch my occupation from being a space traveler to that of a digger, where I would retire, spending every day pouring out over the dust and waters of Mars. See, I thought that there was water on Mars before NASA discovered it. So that tells you, like, I was kind of in the right direction. I always given that as a given until they actually, proved that there's water on Mars. So it's kind of, I always thought that was kind of interesting. And I called this my 33-year-old thing. And since that was 2014, it is now my 40-year-old theory. Yay. So yeah, many years before even the dinosaurs, there was a planet. I named the planet Krypton, between Mars and Jupiter, and Mercury was a moon of Venus. Venus was the first planet in our solar system. Earth was the second. And now this is assuming our sun was bigger and hotter. Most scientists are actually split on this. Mars was not the red planet we know. Instead, it was a very blue planet and covered almost entirely with water and aquatic life forms. And I believe that they split, and there was reptiles and there was mammals. And when Krypton exploded, it caused a large recesses to the water table on Mars. Both the reptiles and the mammals that adapted to life out of the water survived. Certain species of mammals were very intelligent and developed very similar ways, the way we human beings developed on Earth. This advancing society had many different classifications for each of their Martians, just like Earth classifies humans by culture. Um, I do believe that this is where the origin genesis of Adam and Eve's story, and it was on Mars, and the actual Garden Eden. That Mars was the actual Garden of Eden, and they were being cast out for knowing, and those were the first astronauts to go to Earth. There's my Adam and Eve theory. The time frame after the dinosaurs, which their death could have been from a Martian probe that deemed them a threat, that deemed the dinosaurs a threat before settling the Earth, and after Martians first attempted on this planet. This theory is merely based on what we would do, not based on what the Martians would have done or the Neanderthals would have done at the time. They might have actually tried to be inhabitable by it, and the destruction of Mars might have actually been the reason that the dinosaurs were blown out, and chunks of Mars could have come to this planet. Chunks of Krypton could have come to this planet. In either way, Krypton is now the asteroid belt that's between Mars and Jupiter. I probably say that in here, but I'm just saying it because that's where my thinking is right now. The time frame would be after the dinosaurs, which their death could have been from from a Martian probe, deeming them a threat before settling, and basically interfering with their terraforming of the planet. Theory is based on what we would do if dinosaurs developed on Mars after we terraformed it. So basically, Adam and Eve come to Earth after gaining the knowledge. Pretty much after eating the fig thing, and but they were the first and clearly not the last. The colonists discovered many problems with their terraforming of the planet, the destruction of their civilization, when a meteor, larger than one of their moons, wiped out all of Martian life as we know it. Probably the largest event affecting the colonists was isolation. They used the Cro-Mags, the actual natural developing species here on Earth. They use them as slave labor. It's one of the reasons why I should just read, because I probably get into all of that. So basically, Mars got wiped out from a Krypton meteor, and there's actually evidence of that. That one of the asteroids actually did wipe out Mars from what it was to where it is today. And Mars has been beamed by meteors, pretty constantly because of the way the atmosphere is, and the magnetic pull of Mars is actually a little bit less than Earth's. So it would allow, without a stratosphere, and would allow, asteroids to wipe them out. They were isolated. That was the biggest thing that the now Neanderthals had. They were used the Cro-Mags as slave labor. Most colonies lost control over the slave populations, and they were wiped out. What now is Europe, there was a lot of intermingling with their slaves, as well as some inbreeding amongst themselves. The ability to adapt to the environment also seemed to have plagued the Martians, now Neanderthals. And finally, cold and severe drops in temperature as ice ages seem to be the death nail on what was once such an advanced society that had the ability to space travel. The first thing everyone says to me is, why haven't we found any 21st century technology or items hidden with the bones of Neanderthal? My response has always been, we probably have, we just don't know what we're looking at. If we Homo sapiens were wiped out, apes, zombies, meteor, nuclear war, or any other of the many ways that no human would still exist tomorrow, it would only take 900 years before any trace of our advanced society would also disintegrate, and that's without help from anything other than nature reclaiming us. Even our garbage would seem to be only oil and other resources when discovered. Neanderthals died out at least 39,000 years ago. The reconstruction of what their society looked like and how they lived is merely speculation, and it doesn't account for about 100,000 years or more that they had to rely on only the earth to provide for them. Instead, instead of what they took with them from Mars. There's so much more to this than just me guessing. There's the reason that Cro-Mag's development became so revolutionary than evolution, and why humans on this earth have at least 2% Neanderthal in their genetic makeups. Some people can have up to 13%, 14% Neanderthal in their genetic makeup. And people who have a lot of Neanderthal traits tend to be smarter, tend to be faster, even tend to be stronger. So using Neanderthal, like saying somebody's a Neanderthal is an insult, it really is not much of an insult unless the person you're insulting doesn't know that you actually, I believe you actually just complimented them. The Neanderthal and their genetic makeups and why the species of humans became the dominant race on the planet, while the rest now are extinct. Religious people give God this credit, but what if it was more purposeful tampering by ancient scientists trying to survive? They gave us part. They gave us part of them to continue their legacy. This tampering, almost 100,000 years ago, has transformed time, creating a boy who's always looking up to the stars because being beyond this planet in his lifetime is what he has always felt is where he always felt he belonged. No comments, and that's one of my best theories. I probably have mentioned it a couple times. I love that theory. It's one of those theories that until we can actually get to Mars and we can actually start doing some archaeological digs, and we find the ancient remnants of the ancient civilizations that were there. Right now, we're sticking with microorganisms, and the thing about microorganisms is that microorganisms can exist now on Mars. What I'm talking about is things that existed when Mars had an atmosphere, when the core of Mars was actually still hot, and provided the ability for more life. It's definitely believed that Mars was more of a suitable planet um, than Earth for many years, and there was a dynamic shift, and for some reason that life on Earth seemed to one just go higgledy piggledy all over the place, and then with the advent of the ape species and Homo habilis and Homo erectus, and then later Cro-Mag, reverse that, later Cro-Mag, then Homo habilis, Homo erectus, then you get into the Homo sapiens, the Homo thing. The Homo type species are almost all intermingled with Neanderthal in some sort, and it is a jump Um, it is a complete jump between the Cro-Mags and Homo erectus was first. Actually, I believe. The difference between those, and they're related. Not like apes, even though everybody says that we used to be apes, we really weren't. We were a branch off of a subspecies of apes. We share a common ancestor. Is the better way to put it. Let's just move on because yeah, we're already in 18 minutes and I've only gotten one down. So December 15th, 2014. Intelligent quotient. Um, I have in the past come down very hard. I have in the past come down very hard on my own personal intelligence. I even constantly strive to be beyond how smart I am. It's not that I'm being my own worst critic. I take what's coming up. Take take I take coming up short very seriously. Where I fail is expecting the same of others. I keep believing falsely that everyone wants to challenge themselves beyond where they are comfortable. Uh, going to take Going to take an actual IQ test. I have placed somewhere between 178 and 210. Though the 178 was online and the highest possible score, while the 210 also had limited administrators by college was also the limit administered by college students. So basically, every time I've taken a test, I've almost always hit the maximum limit of where an IQ test actually goes. Um, does this mean that I'm smart or even have an IQ even higher than the main character in the TV show Scorpion, with the second highest IQ at 197? This is also false because the highest recorded IQ is 250, and there are several people that have that honor and that title, as well as a few hundred above 200. But Albert Einstein was 160, and once you start getting past this score, it makes me wonder if those who are creating the test can comprehend or create a question for those that have a mind that's even 1 point less than Stephen Hawking's, also 160. Is it possible to have? Is it possible to not have an IQ in their range and be able to create questions that can measure it? I certainly don't believe that I am that smart. Instead, I truly believe that I must be good at test taking, especially multiple choice, solving puzzles, and being able to see empathy how solutions need to be answered. Instead of actually solving the problem or even attempting to answer the question, if that is what the IQ test really is measuring, then I can't, I believe that they can't make a test that will score me high enough. If I were actually intelligent, if it was an actual intelligent measuring test, I think I would be slightly above average. The average is only for those. This average is only consists of those who can read, comprehend, and can honestly answer the questions on the test. If we were measuring all human beings, I believe that since 65 couldn't take the test without assistance, putting them in the middle of the remaining 35, I would score and be 83, so about a B grade overall. Transferring that with 200 being the highest possible score and 100 exact average, my IQ would be at 6, which sounds great, except that Einstein's score would be a 200. And anyone with a 200 score would just mean that that's the limit for the understanding intelligence are basically beyond. That means that their intelligence is beyond human comprehension. So basically, the test that I'm envisioning them making, it ends at 200, but it also states that this is anybody who hits 200, it's 200 plus, pretty much. They're beyond